up and could be in double figures for us, but we've just got to be consistent on the defensive end and then make sure we're moving the ball around. 12 turnovers for us is probably more than what we had in a 2-game total before, and we had 17 assists. So I thought tonight we took, like you said, some quick shots, some ugly shots, some really unnecessary shots, and then we were trying for maybe a hero or home run play is what I call them. In transition, it just wasn't there, and then they got their hands on it and came up with it. And so we've just got to be smarter. And I've got a veteran group, to work with. So, we've got to make sure that benefits us.
You had Sturry to make a field goal in the second half.
Yeah.
That was huge.
Yeah, he's probably one of the better creators to score points than what I've seen in a long time. Just how he can, all by himself, without coming off a screen, without doing anything. If he's got the ball in his hand, he can get to the rim and draw a foul to get to the line, or he's got a really nice step back. He's got that nice little spin move step back that it's just hard to defend him for 32 minutes. And I think he's and he can knock him down. His shooting percentage is terrific. And he knows that if he can get in the lane and draw a foul, he's going to knock free throws down. He's like a 90% shooter. So he's just a real tough guard. No matter what, he's the tough guard. And when you start focusing a lot of attention on him, he can he's not a selfish player. He'll find those other guys. And, they've been working and they're shooting well too. So it was a challenge for us. Like I said, when they got hot in that first half, it was a concern. There's no question about it.
How demoralizing, Jason mentioned how demoralizing it is when, you gear your game plan to stopping the big guys, but yet, you have some success with three-point shooting like you got from AJ and Gavin tonight. He goes, that's just totally psychologically deflating to a team that's they're able to do that too, on top of pounding it inside.
And I think our game plan was to take advantage of our size everywhere on the floor, not just in between the blocks. With cutters and things like that. And then, of course, the guys, every team wants to be a transition team. They want to get up and down and run the floor. But, they were able to get back on us. And so that cut that off. But we've got a number of guys that can knock down some long-range shots. But I thought that early on in the game, we were forcing those shots. We were taking them, like AJ took one in the corner, was just too quick, and it was way, air ball over the top. Elijah took a couple that were long-range shots that were just too quick, just not in his normal motion. And then, we talked about it at halftime and calmed him down on the bench a little bit, got him in. Elijah hit a long-range shot, and then Husty comes in, who's a nice shooter for us, hits those two big ones, and then we run that simple ball reversal play, and AJ gets one right up to top of the key. So when we get good looks, we feel we've got shooters. But it's just those, when we're rushing it, we're just not those kind of guys like a Sterry or, like a Steph Curry. You can just throw it up there and it's going to go in. So, we need to make sure that our inside presence is felt in every game. But at the same time, this year, working off of what we experienced last year, we've got to make sure that we can hit outside shots when we get open looks as well.
Coach Hamby, you told me earlier today that you really wanted to stress on your perimeter defense, and tonight you really did a nice job, I thought, of pushing Sterry all the way out, making those lofty NBA-style threes. Just kind of talk about that point.
Yeah, I thought he and Baith made some really long shots, and give them credit on those shots, but I will also say that when we closed out, our hands were down at our side. You get a hand up on that, it might make a little bit of a difference. But they're both good shooters. There's a reason that freshman is on varsity for Coach Hess, and we knew about Sterry coming in. So,
it just seems like it's a complete difference from last Friday night, though, where they were getting those open looks and they weren't there tonight.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And last Friday we were defending at 21 feet. Tonight we were defending at 26. Yeah, so they were knocking them down out there. But, I thought we did tighten it up a little bit. We kind of, like I said, we went over some things. And it really wasn't adjustments or changes. It was just reminding them of what our focus was to go into this game.
Did Gavin start the fourth quarter? Or because those 2 threes were the first minute. He was already in the third quarter.
Yeah.
He'd come in. All right.
Yeah.
So he's got the green light, even though he's coming in off the bench.
Well, I wouldn't say he's got the green light, but he thought he had it tonight.
When you see these young guys like Braden and Gavin just come in as freshmen and sophomore, that's going to make you feel proud as a coach.
It does. We've got a good crew to work with. They're great guys to work with. But what some of these guys are learning right now at the varsity level, and it's this way at any level, but especially the varsity level, is that when you're taking a three, when you take 10 threes and you knock 7 of them down in practice in the gym, and you're out here, it's a completely different atmosphere. You're a little bit tighter. It's just a different thing. And so these guys, when they hit 1 or 2 out of 10 shots, they're thinking, "Oh my gosh, I stink. I'm horrible." And it's like, no, that's the difference of playing in the varsity game, atmosphere, the crowd, and the defense is that right there. I mean, and so Gavin's a good shooter, and as well as a few of our other guys. They just need to make sure that everything is set, feet, everything's going forward, and we're getting good looks.